this is bad for her brand. It turns her into a clown. Like, holy crap. I got to say, man, you know, the PR people will be like, there's no such thing as bad press. I'm like, I kind of think there is. Like, you losing to none basically makes you the least viable candidate ever. At this point, moving on. Like, you can't run for anything. You can't run for class president at this point. You can't run for the head of the PTA.
What federal position is available to her right now? Because she's not going to get a position in the Trump administration. That's just the way it is. And, you know, she's not super welcome in her home state. You'll hear interviews with South Carolina voters who say, you know, she was a great governor. I just don't see her as president, whatever else. But now it seems like the voters who have elected the current guard of leaders in South Carolina wouldn't support her either. I mean, they have drifted more favorably towards Trump. The longer she stays in this battle with Trump, the more she isolates herself from most Republican voters.
But I think she's more concerned about what the defense contracting industry thinks of her and what cushy gigs and retainer fees she'll be able to get. I don't think she gives I won't cuss, but anything about the Republican base, or she wouldn't have, first of all, stepped in. She would have stepped out a while ago. And I think it's just sort of performative activism, I would say, to get a cushy gig at whether it's Raytheon, Boeing, choose your corporate, you know, sugar daddy.
But she already had those. I mean, she could have stayed. She is choosing to go back into politics because she craves the power, is my assumption.
I feel like she's being pushed. Like she's sitting in the driver's seat of a self-driving car.
Well, Ken Griffin gave her what? He gave her a super PAC like $5 million. But then he was interviewed and he was like, yeah, I don't think she's going to win. So,
But it's not, I think why it comes off so disingenuous is that they're not giving money to her because they actually liked her. Ron DeSantis was sort of the first pick, but then he was the sacrificial lamb. It didn't work out. Then maybe it was going to be Glenn Youngkin. Now it's Nikki Haley. So I think there's that lack of authenticity because they don't actually believe in her. It's just the way things have sort of happened, the way the tables have turned, the cards have played. It's like she's the last one standing. And yeah, maybe she's a woman, so it makes them feel better. But I don't really think there's, like I said, she's a listless vessel for these corporate donors who oftentimes are majority Democrat, but she's just sort of a walking shell of their interests. You think those people care about the MAGA base, the Republican base? They're probably laughing, oh, these dumb idiots are going to think if we say the word rigged, let's focus group that word. Like that's going to go over with them because they're really into election denialism, but it shows you how to touch they are.
I will give her credit. She learned how to talk while opening and closing her mouth. It was funny because I tweeted like, Nikki Haley, when she speaks, she doesn't move her teeth. And then it was kind of wild because there were people like, they got to be PR accounts, something defending her saying, your teeth don't move when you talk. And I was like, dude, your mouth opens
like,
and
yes.
closes and your teeth are going up and down. But when she talks, she keeps her jaw still and she talks through her lips like this. It's like she's yelling at her dog. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you're mad at your dog.
That's the adjective.
Terse.
Yeah,
is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
When you
terse.
like, how dare you? I will lock my teeth together. You got the garbage against
her energy style.
Terse.
Yeah,
but in this, I noticed
she looks terse. I don't know.
She
if
like
actually
figured out how to speak with opening and closing her mouth.
She laughed nervously in the beginning of the interview. You can tell she's a mess right now. What is Nikki?
There you go.
You got to drop out, Nikki.
Sorry, Nimrata.
So these people that are funding her campaign, are they basically ready to profit off of global organization, like global finance, if the U.S. amalgamizes into this new world order thing peacefully?
Just try and understand it. You know, Ian, I think you're too self-centered. I think you got to understand it from their perspective. If someone came to you and said, blowing up a bunch of kids would put $1 million in your pocket, you'd say yes, right?
I don't think so.
I'd
like to hear more about the plan before I say no, but no, I don't think so. Try and
hear it from her donor's perspective. You know what I mean? Like, you blow up a bunch of kids over there, you get money over here.